What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Tuesday. I see there's already folks in the chat. Here we go. All right. So, I actually don't have a plan for today. Do you have a plan? What do you want to see me do? So here's what I've been up to. Things have been busy. I just shot another episode of Web Dev Challenge yesterday. If you were on Twitter, you may have seen I had Danny Thompson was there, Doug Rogers was there from Spot AI, works with Kelly Vaughn. And I had Joel Hooks, who is one of the co-founders of Egghead. It was a super fun episode. It was Convex sponsored. We had Sarah Shader there to coach us from the team. Super fun. And that one's going to come out around Halloween, so stay tuned. I also something new's coming. I had a new show get. I don't know what the right word is because it's not like it didn't get optioned, like the industry terms. None of those apply here. Somebody agreed to pay for a pilot of a new show that I'm working on, and I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait to share it with y'all. It's more on like the trivia game show side. So really excited for that. That's going to be filming probably pretty soon, so I got to get that all sorted out. I also signed up for my first road show of the Web Dev Challenge, and that is going to be filmed in San Francisco on October 23rd. That's going to be part of the like Sanity opening show for for NextConf. Let me find the actual post here that talks about this because it has a whole bunch of details. There's lots of fun stuff. It's going to be a good time. So this one, we are going to be at we're going to be here. So this is, let me actually share the screen. I think that'll be easier than me trying to just tell you about it without actually saying or showing you anything. So we're going to be doing the Web Dev Challenge. We've got Kent C. Dodds is coming, Aaron Francis is coming, Charlie Gerard, Demetrius Clark are going to be the 4 devs. I'm going to be there as an advisor. And we're also going to have some of the Sanity team there because Sanity is, if you haven't figured out, sponsoring the show. We are going to also open that up to be a version of the Web Dev Challenge that anybody can join. So we've got room for, I think, up to 100 people is what I was told. 50 spots. They've changed the number. So 50 spots. So if you want to get in, if you're in the San Francisco area, if you're going to NextConf, sign up for this. It's going to be really fun. We're gonna spend the day. You're going to get a prompt. You get 4 hours to build. We're all going to demo together the best. I think they're going to take like the best 3 from the live hackathon, and those will be demoed on stage along with the demos from the devs on the show itself. So it'll be, Aaron, Kent, Charlie, and Dom, and then 3 of the hackathon attendees will be doing the demos. It's going to be super fun. I'm very excited about this. It's going to be a blast. So definitely, if you're in the area, make it happen because it's going to be a ton of fun, and also it's just a chance to hang out, right? Like, come say hi. So that's going to be a ton of fun. Also, I am like, you ever do that thing where like a lot of stuff is going well, and so you keep going, yeah, I want to do that, yeah, I want to do that, and then you realize that it's all happening at exactly the same time. So I have a couple projects coming up with client work where I'm going to be filming some videos for other companies. Those are also happening like effectively right now. We're filming another episode of Web Dev Challenge next week, and then I immediately fly to San Francisco to film a video with a customer. Then I'm back for like a couple of days, and then I fly out to, I'm going to be at GitHub Universe, which is going to be great. So I'm going to be in San Francisco 3 separate times in October for various events. So the pre-party for Sanity, at opening the Next.js Conf stuff, and then I'm home for a couple days, and then I'll be back for GitHub Universe, which is going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't been, it's a very good networking event. Like, tons of people are there, tons of opportunities to meet people and have like, and you just run into people. Like, I met Corey Quinn, who runs the what's it called? I know his handle is Quinny Pig, and I know the name of this I'm forgetting the name, but anyways, influential in AWS space. I met Scott Hanselman there. I met Angie Jones there. I met, Ashley Willis, who's one of the VP or directors, senior director. She's very, very big in the GitHub organization. Just so many people show up there, right? It's a lot of fun, and so I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a good time. Also, we're throwing a big Halloween party in my studio, so if you're in the Portland area, hit me up. It is a costume party. It is also a specific kind of costume party. You have to be dressed appropriately, or my wife will not admit you through the door. So anyways, lots of good stuff coming up. Busy end of the year here. So I'm currently booked into 2025 at this point, which is I'm really excited about it. And also ready to maybe lay down and take a nap for a week and a half. Will it be like the Antiques Roadshow? I mean, yeah, more or less. Yeah, bring your computers in and I'll tell you how much they're worth. What's up, Bridgewater? What's up, Sue? Let's go. Yeah, Demi and Oluwashiami, thank you for hanging out early. I appreciate you being here. What's up, Julie? When will the next episode of the Web Dev Challenge be published? It will be published next Wednesday is the release day. So excited for that. What's up, Bizem? Oh, there's a Solid.js hackathon starting. Let's look at that. hack.solidjs.com. Cool. Yeah, this is a fun way to learn something new. Always a good time. What's up, Amit? How are you doing? Thank you, Jose. I appreciate that. Or Jay, if you're going by Jay, thank you. How much your app idea will be Series A valued? Let me just hold on. Let me just pull a number out of my hat. $7. No, hold on. I'll get a new number. $40 million. Okay, so why am I in the? This is the bad layout. I should be in this layout if we're gonna do this. Okay, so there are a few things that we could do today. One is I always enjoy if y'all just want to talk like code career, et cetera, et cetera. I think that is a very good time, and I'm always happy to do it. If you want to talk, I also have some stuff I want to build. I'm trying to build out the new version of the Learn with Jason site, and it's so close. I'm actually having issues. I did something wrong with the deployment, or I'm using the Astro 5 beta because it does a lot of cool stuff. Hold on. Why don't I pull this up? Because give me just a second, actually. I'm going to clear my desktop here. Let's get into a workable state. Get all the messaging apps out of the way. Actually, we'll close this entirely. Save. Get this out of the way. Okay. All right. Let me bring this back up then. All right. So let me get a window here. We're going to open this one. Actually, no. We've been working on... You see that it tried to show y'all my .env saved by my obnoxiously large terminal window there. Okay, so I've been trying to work this into my mono repo. So this is part of the fun. So I'm using NX to manage my sites. So I'll run www.v2 dev. This will start up that server for me. We get localhost 4321. And you can see here that we have episodes. Hey, look at that. So we've got the series going, and in here, in each one of these, we can open up the show. I'm also, okay, so I'm doing something. We all tell me if you like this. I have a series, we're like on our third consecutive tangent at this point. Let me go to the YouTube. So I have this series that I've been running, and I call it Web Lunch. I don't know why, but people don't watch this show, and I have a feeling it has to do with the name. So I'm thinking about rebranding it, and this is what I want to rebrand it as, is the meta conversation, right? I think, because basically what I'm trying to do with this show is I'm trying to have the conversations that are things that people won't teach you, right? You don't get lessons on how to adjust your mindset so that it doesn't crush you when you get feedback that you don't want, or how to realign expectations so that you know how to communicate what you want in a way that the executive team or sales team or product team or whatever will understand and also value, right? Those are skills that are so critical to us in this industry, but we don't talk about them, right? You sort of learn them the hard way, or you get a mentor at a company that you work at who kind of coaches you on how to get through that stuff, but you can't go like get a lesson on it. And so I really want people to have access to these sorts of conversations, because this is how I learned. I learned by going to conferences. And at a conference, I would meet somebody, we would end up hanging out, and we'd end up at the end of the day in the hotel lobby. And we'd be sharing a beverage, sitting down talking, and the conversation would turn toward like kind of like, I always think of it as the conversation around the fire in Conan the Barbarian, which I realize is silly, but where he's like, what is best in life, right? And then everybody kind of talks about like, what's best in life. And that movie is ridiculous because it's about barbarians and all the answers are silly. But when you have that conversation with a bunch of successful people, the answers are really interesting, because the stuff that you would expect a very successful person to say isn't often the thing that they would answer with. They might answer with something completely unexpected. And that tends to be what happens on this show. Is I'll ask people things like, how do you define success? What do you measure? What are you focused on? How do you know that you're doing good work? Those types of questions have so much good insight into how we approach careers, how we build something that's sustainable, that keeps us happy, that lets us live a life that we value. So I don't know what to call it, right? And so what I'm landing on right now is the meta conversation, because it's the conversation around how to have a career, as opposed to like, here's the tech you should learn, here's the tool you should use, the company you should join. Rather, it's no matter what tool you use, no matter what company you join, you're still going to need these skills to navigate a career in a way that doesn't make you miserable. So it's sort of the meta content, the meta discussion about how all of that stuff works. I'm still not 100% sure it's a good name. So if you have ideas, please let me know. Let me see. Let me look at the term meta as a conversation. Yeah, I don't know. That's true. See, and then like conversations with Jason, like nobody knows who I am. Nobody, like I one of the things that's challenging is, when you're Jerry Seinfeld, you can call your show something silly like Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and people will go and they'll watch it because it's Jerry Seinfeld. That doesn't work when you don't have a brand. Like if you're not big enough that people will just watch things that you do because you're in them. So that's sort of the major challenge that I run into is like, you want to have a descriptive name, but you don't I don't know. I don't want it to sound like every other podcast, but I also don't want it to be something that's so clever that nobody knows what it is. And so originally it was like, yeah, what's the conversation you would have over a meal? And though that to me that means a lot, but to other people that doesn't mean anything. And I think that was the mistake I had with Web Lunch. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Meta is branded toward Facebook. God damn it. Okay. So finally someone will mentor us. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay. I need to drop. It can't be Meta. Tech cheat codes could work. Developers on developing is kind of fun. I'll think about that. That's a good one. Take some notes. Yeah, I mean, I think really, I just want people to get this tagline and pay attention, because this is what it is to me. It's like how to gain success in tech without regrets. The unspoken, my big fat tech conversation. The unspoken tech. Okay, unspoken tech could be interesting. I like that. Soft skills is also interesting because it's hard because the people who need soft skills would never watch something called soft skills, if that makes sense. It's like it to the people who most need to learn this stuff, I think they read that as like eat your vegetables, and I don't think it. Yeah. The unspoken rules. Yeah, I think yeah. Softer software skills. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I do think like unspoken is interesting because it's sort of like only through back channels and stuff. Bytes and bytes. So I love this. The problem is B Dougie from Open Sauce already has a show called Pizza Bite, and it's like B Dougie eating pizza with somebody and talking about the tech industry. So if I used Bytes, I think it crosses a line of like we're now, and I'm now just like making the same show as B Dougie. Behind the Veil is very interesting. Lifting the tech veil. Yeah, okay. Behind the Veil. What if we actually called it like the back channel? I guess it's not a gossip show, so like back channel would be kind of a whole thing. So I'm gonna write it down though, because I think it's interesting to play with. Yeah, I mean, back channeling is harmful. Well, it's kind of harmful. Like back channeling is how we get information, but it is, yeah, it's tough because like you can't always. Well, and I guess it depends on like what we're categorizing as back channeling, right? Because like if you talk about the Whisper Network is one of the most useful things in tech because you can go into a group and say, hey, I'm talking to this company, or I met this person. Is there anything I should know? And people won't say it in public where they could get attacked, but they'll share that information in private and say like, maybe don't get involved with that person because of these things. And you get the kind of the history of where things are coming. It is definitely tricky because it does require you to have access. And if you're not in those groups, you can't ask those questions. But then, the other part of it too is like the people who have that information often don't have the privilege of being able to stand up and call out the people who are problematic, right? Like if you say in back channels, like, hey, be careful about that person, you're helping where you can. If you stand up in public and say this person is a problem, that person might come after you, and if they are really well connected, they can ruin your life, right? So it is definitely one of those like challenging. It's challenging, like, and I think it again just points to like how important it is to have the network, to be somebody who is out there meeting people and trying to be part of these conversations, because again, this is information you just can't get in other ways because it's not safe for people to post that kind of information all the time. Working lunch conversation is interesting. I do like that. Debugging tech. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, debugging tech. Working lunch. So working lunch, I think working lunch would hit the same problem that I had with web lunch, where it means something to me, but I don't know that anybody coming out is necessarily going to be, yeah, yeah. Debugging the rules. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the privilege convo, I think you're definitely right. Like the challenge of privilege is that we all have varying levels of privilege. Like there are things that are easier for me than for other people, and there are things that I can do safely that other people can't do safely. And then there are things that like I don't have. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna be careful about this because I feel like it's such a subjective thing, and it doesn't turn into a. I guess what I'll say is I I find it's very difficult when you're in positions where you both have privilege and also don't. And what I mean by that is like to be in a position where you are a CEO who's a multi-billionaire and effectively like nothing can affect you anymore. I'd say like Elon Musk is one of these people. He's so rich that it doesn't matter what he does. He just kind of gets away with everything because they're like, we're gonna sue you, and he's like, whatever, sue me. You like I have more money than you could possibly sue me for. And then he's like, I'm gonna break laws, and they're like, well, we can't put Elon Musk in jail. And it's like, why? And it's like, he's Elon Musk, right? Like it's that whole too big to fail thing that happens, which is I think the height of privilege. And then like everything sort of like scaffolds down from there. There are people who have more or less privilege based on where they are. And I think the challenging part is figuring out how to leverage your privilege in a way that doesn't like burn your access at the same time. Because one of the things that's really challenging is like if you are always taking a stand, it creates an environment where people don't want to be caught in that sphere, right? And I also think that, if you're always taking a stand, it makes the individual stands less impactful because it starts to feel like cause of the weak. And that's also really challenging because like there are a lot of really important things that need focus and that need attention and that need care. And then there's also the part of me that just thinks it's like, who the fuck am I? Like, who cares what I think about whatever pop? Who cares what I think about Taylor Swift? It doesn't matter. And so the thing that's challenging is trying to leverage privilege in a way that makes an impact and doesn't feel like I'm just saying something on the internet because I felt like I didn't want to get left out of a conversation. Because it's not like tweeting is not action, right? It's just sort of like yelling into the void. And so the actions I think are the important part, and the trick is always figuring out a way to do something that helps, do something that makes a difference. And I don't purport to have any of those answers or to be doing it right. I'm probably making 1,000 mistakes a day. But I think that's sort of my look on it is like I'm not super worried about the public, like how publicly I'm seen to be somebody who's like doing the right thing. I worry a lot more about the people that are actually affected by my actions. And I don't think I've ever seen a life change. I've seen lives change for the worse from a tweet. I've rarely seen them change for the better. But I've seen a lot of people like move quietly and make huge differences and huge changes by kind of using, and this is where the back channel becomes a good thing, because the right conversation from somebody with connections to somebody who is a decision maker can keep somebody problematic from getting a lot of access that they would have had otherwise, right? And it can give somebody who needed that shot, who deserved that shot, the shot they deserved. I don't know. Very complicated stuff. Very, very, very like tricky to manage. But yeah. Dev coffee? Maybe. I don't know, and this is where it's hard, right? Like maybe the point is that it's like this isn't ever going to have a name that really conveys what it does, and because of that, I should do something like pull clips and run ads against it so that people can see the conversation and decide if they want to watch more of it. I'm not sure. I don't know what the right choice is. That stuff is all very tricky. Um, Is it possible to build an e-commerce website alone? Absolutely, it is. It depends on what you mean by build, but like you can get on Shopify and have an e-commerce store running now. Like my my merch fulfillment company fired me because I wasn't doing enough business. But before that happened, I had a Shopify store that I'd set up. Originally, I had like decided I was going to build it all myself, and I had a custom shopping cart and all these things, and that was really fun. Like I liked building it. I did build it myself, so I think that's proof that you can build something from scratch yourself as well. And there's great tools like Nick DeJesus has something called Use Shopping Cart. Oops. Use Shopping Cart. There it is. This is a really handy tool if you ever want to dig in and build your own thing from scratch. But like Shopify has a very cheap, like I think it's $30 a month. And if you're running an e-commerce site and you're not making $30 a month, then it's not really an e-commerce site at that point, right? Like you should be making some sales if you're going to run an e-commerce site. And so the way I looked at it was like, I could keep managing this cart. I could keep managing like pulling in inventory and all the things that I had to do to make this look nice, or I can, because this merch is not my core business. It's not something that I'm relying on for income. It's just a thing that I did because it was fun to make some stickers. It was fun to make these silly little corgi ducks. And I want to sell them, right? Because I think these things cost me like $13 a piece to manufacture. And I still have like 750 of them in boxes in my garage because my merch company fired me. And so, I wanted to be able to sell them, and the Shopify store let me do that without having to think about it. So I think from what is the purpose of the e-commerce store? Is it your entire business? Is the engineering of it unique in any way, or does Shopify solve that problem for you? Or you can always throw it on Stripe, you can throw it on whatever else, and I think that tends to work. Tech Unboxed. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, definitely need to think about this a little bit more. Deconstructing tech, yeah, that could work. Web nibbles. I that makes me laugh. I think I don't know. How do I get started with the job search? Should I start applying and wait for interviews first? Ask for referrals? So the thing that's tricky about jobs in general is that jobs, projects, ideas, everything, nobody wants to go first, right? So getting the first one is always very challenging. You can go about it a handful of ways. Like you can absolutely just keep applying. It's a numbers game. Eventually you'll get interviews, but it might be hundreds or I've heard that people have sent out like 1,000 resumes to get their first job. And that sucks. That's like soul crushing work. So you can do that. Like I don't think there's no rule that says you can't just continually keep applying and trying and eventually the resume gets through, right? If you're going to do that, I would encourage you to spend a lot of time looking at, like, there are good job recruiters out there. There's a guy who calls himself the Job Father, and he's a recruiter. He shares a bunch of information about how resume should be formatted, about how the automated screeners work, and how you can make sure that your resume is doing the right thing so that it passes an automated screener. He's very, very knowledgeable and very, very helpful. There's also like Taylor Desane. I can't remember how he pronounces his last name. Desane or Dessen. He's like great. You know, he will do. I just lost my train of thought. He does a bunch of information about recruiting as well, and is great for talking through that stuff. So if you're going to do the resume thing, it will work eventually. It's a numbers game, but do give yourself an advantage by talking or like reading content from people who are coaching on how to get a resume through a screen, right? Or you can build a lot of stuff and put it in public and share it on social media and try to get the word out there that you're building and doing stuff, because people start to notice when somebody is consistently releasing content or consistently building and publishing, right? If I see you build 50 sites in 50 days as a personal challenge or something, when you see that work, first of all, you see somebody's improvement. Like the difference between day 1 and day 50 is going to be huge, because 50 reps is a lot of reps to be building something. And 2, you see the commitment, you see the consistency. I can see that this is somebody who's doing it. And just the mere brand repetition of like seeing your name come across the feed multiple times is a good signal to a lot of folks to say, you know what, we should at least talk to them. They're making moves out there. Recommendations can be really helpful, but the recommendations only work if you're going to be able to like back it up for the job that you're getting interviewed for. And you know, so my preference is a little bit of all three. You know, like figure out how to make sure that your resume is doing what it needs to do, so that when the recruiter looks at it, they're not fighting with the person referring you and saying like, but they're not qualified. Look at this resume; it doesn't say what we need. And if you can, put some time into like publishing work, into building new things, into learning new stuff, and talking about it in public places, so that people can see you making the moves, that they can see you kind of trying stuff and changing stuff. And then, you know, the bit about asking for referrals, making more friends, and that's good. That's good. It's helpful. You should do it. But also bear in mind that like referrals are not an unlimited resource, right? If you're constantly asking people to do you favors and you're not returning those favors, it can lopside a relationship. And so I'm always pretty selective about like when I ask somebody to go to bat for me, because it's not something I want to do often. Like I want to be the one providing more. Like the way I think about it is like friendships aren't about keeping score. And I want to be very clear about that. But I do think we have an innate sense of like balance in a relationship. And I think this is true whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendly relationship, or a professional relationship. If you are in a relationship where it feels like the balance is off, it starts to feel like one person becomes the person who takes care of the other. And caretaking relationships are not, well, they can be, but they're typically not balanced. Like and I've seen this in romantic relationships constantly, where me or somebody else will get into a relationship. Once you get into the relationship, they kind of don't put in the effort. They're like, well, we're already together. Like, I don't need to be romantic. I don't need to do the dishes. I don't need to contribute around the house. That's not my job. And then the partner ends up doing more and more of the lift in the relationship, and it gets out of balance. And then that starts to make it feel not like a relationship anymore. It starts to feel like you're taking care of somebody. You know, it's the one way I've heard it described is that a lot of people get into relationships. They start out as equals and they become a child. And the one of the people in the relationship becomes a parent, and the other one becomes a child that's being taken care of, right? And that's not romantic. You don't want to stay in a relationship like that. Like, you know, people will get in relationships and complain about like, oh, the spark is gone. We don't have that like romantic flair anymore. And then it's, you know, you ask them what they do, and they're like, oh, well, you know, she does all the dishes and she does all the cleaning and she does all the laundry, and I don't contribute around the house, you know, because I work all day. And it's like, yeah, well, so does she, right? And that balance isn't there. And so, yeah, of course the romance goes away, right? And I think the same thing is true in any relationship. Like if you're always asking and never contributing, it will kind of hollow out the closeness of a relationship in any capacity, professional, friendly, or romantic. So trying to make sure that when you're asking for those referrals, it's not too much, which is a very that was like a long walk for a short answer. Let's see. What do we got? Stateless auth in 2024. I am going to be honest. I'm not 100% sure what. I don't even know if I know what stateless auth is, to be completely honest. That sounds. Who knows? What on earth is. Don't know what that is. We're just going to get rid of some weird comments that are coming through. Question about being a web dev with 4+ years of experience, recently unemployed, boot camp grad, adopted continuous learning approach while I'm job hunting, finding my resume is getting disqualified by applicant tracking systems almost right away after applying. So I would put this back to what I was saying about like follow the job father. He's super knowledgeable about this stuff and he talks about it very specifically. The ATS applicant tracking system it's not just about like education. There are so many things that can go wrong with a resume going through automated screens. And some of them will boot you just because of education. Most of them boot you for keyword matches or mismatches. Now I'm repeating what I heard from the job father. I am not an expert. Let's be clear. I have not applied for jobs in 10 years, right? So I don't know what the job market is like. I've been recruited. I'm kind of in a, like we were talking about privilege earlier. This is one of my deep points of privilege. I've hit a level in my career where people come to me and I haven't had to ask for jobs. And I'm so grateful for that. And I really, really hope I never have to again. So in terms of getting jobs, I know what has worked when I've been the hiring manager. Like I know what's made me notice people. I don't know how to get a resume through an applicant tracking system. I only know what I've seen through the experts that I follow, like the job father, like Taylor Desane and others. So I would highly recommend. It's probably not that you're a boot camp grad. It is probably in the way that you're submitting your resume. That would be my hunch. And taking a look at some of the experts on how to get resumes formatted properly will go a long way. Check out, like the recruiters talk about this stuff all the time. They're really open. It's on, you can find them on LinkedIn, you can find them on Twitter, wherever you want to go. And they have good information on like, here's an example resume. Here's why it got booted out of the ATS. Here's what they could have done instead. And kind of talking through how to pull the right keywords out of job descriptions and stuff like that to make sure that the ATS keeps your resume. Also just target a company that doesn't use an applicant tracking system, like any like automated stuff will definitely help. Conversation with Jason. Yeah, name isn't the issue. It could be more of an exposure promotion issue. I think you're 100% right. I think the other trick is that like Web Dev Challenge works well because I think people see the thumbnail, they see the name, and they sort of have an inkling of what they're getting. And so they're willing to click that thumbnail and watch the video. I don't think people get that when they see a thumbnail for Web Lunch and see the name on Web Lunch. And part of that is that I just don't think I'm good at the like YouTube-y title thumbnail thing. It's never been a strength of mine, I don't think. And part of that is that I think the name doesn't imply value to the person watching it. Like it doesn't explain what they're going to get by watching it. Web Dev Challenge kind of implies, oh, I'm going to see web devs do a challenge. And if you're a web dev, you're like, I want to see what that challenge is. Web Lunch is like, well, I can't eat this video, so why do I care? Promotion, I run contests for social clip sharing, do a write-up on a specific Q&A. These are all very good ideas. Yeah, daily.dev. Man, I should do that. I have such a hard time with that sort of thing. Like, here's what I need. I'm desperately trying to get my profit margins up at this company to where I can hire help, because what I need more than anything is like a producer slash, not even necessarily social media person, but like a promotions, somebody who's thinking about that, right? Somebody who can sort of organize things, get a content calendar together, work with the editors to get short clips made, identify the right things to be short clips, because that's another thing. I haven't had time to like go through all the videos and carve out the chunks. And when I do it, it works really well, but I don't have the bandwidth for it. So I'm trying to get, but hiring people in tech is really expensive. So the profit margins have to be higher for me to be able to do it in a way that isn't like what I think might come off as an insultingly low rate for somebody. Yeah, because like the amount of time that adds up when you start thinking about, okay, so like even right now, I owe the previous Web Dev Challenge Hackathon folks an email, because we have, like, I have to send out prizes, I have to book demo calls, I have to get I'm working on editing the last set of demo calls, got to get the folks connected to the sponsors so that they can get their like rewards and all those things. And then I've got another one that's closing up, like I think it closed up on Monday, and so I'm like, oh my god. So there's a lot going on, and I just have to be I'm getting buried by admin basically. So that's a whole thing, and something that I hope to solve soon. And the basically the cost right now and the trade-off I'm making is I don't have the bandwidth to make pure promotional material, because it's not as important as like following through on the stuff that's already running and like booking the new work. And so, yeah, it's tricky out there. It's really tricky out there. Conversational Jason. That's funny. Web dev secrets, that could be good. I like that. Well, I mean, that's reductive, but it's kind of true, right? Like you want, like you say something that makes somebody, what they call it, to not call it clickbait, is a curiosity gap. You say something that challenges what somebody believes so that they feel an urge to like understand why you would say it that way. And then the thumbnail, the more emotionally resonant it is, right, then the more likely somebody is to click it. And we are like biologically wired to like human faces, so we see a human face that has a big emotion going on, and we're kind of like drawn to that, right? Because it's just like it's our hardwiring. So there's a reason that stuff happens. However, we are seeing that people got so overloaded on the Mr. Beast thumbnails that now it's shifting a little bit, but I don't exactly know how it's shifting, and I don't keep up on this stuff. Like, I don't want to be a YouTube thumbnail expert. I just want to make interesting stuff. This is a big part of the reason why I'm working on the Learn with Jason site, is because the shift in that is I'm trying to move to more of like, I'm going to publish content and I'm going to send people a note that it's out there. I'll still put it on YouTube, and I still want people to be able to watch it wherever they want to watch content. But like, I'm attempting to switch the model to be like, hey, there's content over here. If you've ever seen like Nebula or Dropout TV, that's what I'm dreaming of getting to. And there's an option to subscribe so that you can get like basically you're directly funding the creation of stuff. And the more funding I have, the less I rely on sponsors, and the more I can do the stuff that doesn't have like a direct product placement tie-in, which has been a challenge because I've got some ideas that I want to do. Like, actually, Web Lunch is a great example. It's really hard to get somebody to sponsor Web Lunch because it's not using a product. It's not talking about a product. So, having people kick in to sponsor that show as viewers means that they're saying, I want more of this show. And if they want more of the show and they put some money in, I can go make a bunch of it, right? And that's sort of the plan, and the goal is to start growing that way, so that like viewer supported kind of NPR model, where hopefully enough people want to watch it that we are able to make stuff based on what people are asking for and not based on what I can sell to a sponsor. I'll still do sponsored stuff because it's fun. Like, it's a fun way to work with companies, and I like the kind of like chopped Iron Chef model of like, here's a secret ingredient, you got to build something with it. I think that makes for it's good for like playful stuff. So it'll be a blend, right? But the idea is to get to the point where we can do that blend. So okay, but so the thing about a lot of these is like the Primeagen is doing a very specific thing, and he's doing like a Twitch live community driven thing, and then he's got the sort of like capitalizing on current events and like reacting to other people's videos and stuff that it's there are a lot of like flywheels for engagement that he uses that I've tried a couple of those. Like I think I tried some reaction stuff, and I didn't. It's not fun for me. I'm not enjoying it when I'm doing it. And I think you can sense that if you watch it. And so the major challenge is finding like, I think this is, sometimes you get lucky and the thing you want to make is a thing people want to watch and you don't have to do a lot of work. I would say Web Dev Challenge is that for me, where I really wanted to make it. And when I published it, I didn't have to optimize it. I didn't have to do thumbnails for it and like do the game on YouTube. I just like put screenshots of the people in the show on the thing and said 4 web devs build the same app idea, and like people wanted to watch it, and it's taken off. YouTube likes to promote it, so super happy about that. But then the other stuff that I want to make doesn't have that immediate like emotional like, ooh, I want to see what that is. I think it's more it's bordering on like self-help kind of stuff, which can be useful, but I don't want to flip over into the like 5 ways you're ruining your career, you know? And so I'm trying to be careful about not leading with negativity, not leading with FOMO and making people feel bad, like they're not doing enough. Because that's the opposite of what I want to do. Like my whole goal here is to make this stuff feel less terrible, less intimidating, less stressful. Like it can be fun to be in this career. It can be fun to be in an industry that's constantly changing and evolving. It can just feel like playtime and like we're having a good time with our friends. But that's a mindset thing, right? And so if I start putting out content that's like, what you're doing wrong, what's broken in tech, this thing sucks, that directly counters what I'm attempting to create. And the unfortunate challenge is that it is significantly more viral to bait with negativity. And so that is a challenge, because it's always tempting to like, oh, well, I'll just make the thumbnail negative and the video won't be. I don't want to even be associated with that, right? So I've just decided I'm gonna go the way I'm gonna go, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I'll just, I have a million ideas. Some of them are gonna work. Web Dev Challenge works with no negativity. Great. Proof that it doesn't have to be negative to succeed. I just got to try a lot of things and figure out which ones fit that format. What's the best approach to making money from an app without making it pay to use? Sponsorships, like that. I would say that's what I'm doing right now with Learn with Jason. Is it's not pay to use. None of it's paywalled. You can watch all of the things I make for free on YouTube. Well, you watch them by watching. You pay for them by watching ads on YouTube. Or by paying for premium, or in the future you'll be able to get like early access to stuff on Learn with Jason by paying, but it's not required. You can watch all of it for free. And if you want to make stuff that doesn't charge the end user, then you have to find a way to make it valuable to a company so that the company is willing to pay on behalf of the end user. And what that typically means is product placement, or you have a valuable audience that they want to access. So in the case of like this is why Instagram influencers do so well. They're out there like looking glamorous in cool locations, and so any product they use, any like the makeup, the hair products, the clothing, the home goods, like if they've got a cool cutting board or a knife or a plant stand or whatever it is, any of those companies wants access to their 10,000 to 10 million subscriber or followers, because anytime those people are associating themselves with a brand like that, it makes them a little more approachable. Like somebody's like, oh yeah, the people that I follow on Instagram all use this brand of apron, and so if I'm going to get an apron, I'm going to look at that one first because it's the one I keep seeing, right? And So the same thing is true in every market, and that's why you'll see, for example, the Bytes.dev newsletter is really good at getting sponsors because it's relevant. It's good information presented in a very concise way to a large audience of qualified viewers. Like the devs, like only devs are signed up to Bytes.dev, right? Like there would be very little reason to sign up if you weren't interested in that space. So when a company sponsors that newsletter, they are confident that every view they get is a qualified potential customer. So they're willing to pay however much, I don't know how much it costs to sponsor Bytes.dev, but I would guess it's somewhere in the thousands. You're able to guarantee that that money you spent gets you however many thousand developer eyeballs, and you can then say, we paid 30 cents per view of our thing, which if you go to Google AdSense and you pay 15 cents per eyeball, but they're serving it to literally everybody, that's a much lower quality ad, right? So that's kind of the mindset around this stuff, is making sure that like the people that you have hanging around are the people that companies want to talk to, and then just making sure that when you take money from the company, you don't remove the reason that people want to hang out, right? Like if I was stopping every 15 seconds to do an ad read on this stream, people aren't going to hang out for that. It's not fun. But if I don't know, if I got sponsored to use a particular code editor and I used that while I was building stuff, it doesn't really change your experience, but it means that I can get paid to do this stream. And so that's sort of the way that I look at it. Like I use a tool called Tuple on Learn with Jason for pair programming. It's a great tool. And if you work in any place where you pair program, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think it's actively improved Learn with Jason because it adds a couple capabilities that I didn't have before, so that the guests have a little more control over what's going on, and it cuts some of the like back channel, like, okay, can you copy paste that in our private chat right now? I'm going to copy paste this. They can just like paste it directly into my editor, stuff like that, right? It makes good sense for Tuple because they want more developers to look at their product. It makes sense for me because I honestly, like, even when they end the sponsorship, I'm probably going to keep using it. Don't tell them that because I want them to keep sponsoring. But from the standpoint of like, it's a value add. I think it's a value add across the board. And so for anybody who's doing pair programming, I hope that you go try it too, because the more people who look at Tuple, the more likely they are to keep the sponsorship going for me, right? It should be everybody wins in a sponsorship situation. There are other ways to make money without making it pay to use. I'm not familiar with those approaches, so I can't really speak to them. I think a lot of it is kind of like almost non-profity, like NPR or Wikipedia, where you're asking people to donate to cover costs. That does turn you into like a fundraiser once a year when you do the big annual drive, like on Wikipedia, where you get the like, hey, if everybody used Wikipedia, kicked in 20 cents, we'd be able to operate for 40 years or whatever it is they say. That sort of stuff is, it's all in what you've got the energy for, right? Like I spend a lot of time in sales meetings where I'm talking to folks about, what we could create together and how their product might fit into this idea or that idea, and how we could make that feel natural and how it doesn't feel like it's taking away from the original idea, so that people will get something out of it whether or not the product is part of it. That all takes a ton of time and is a ton of energy. Now, I enjoy doing it. Like I like thinking about that kind of stuff, and it's fun for me to come up with a way that's like, how could we use this in a way that feels like natural and like it actually adds to what we're doing, as opposed to slapping a 30-second ad read in the middle of a video. It's fun for me. If it's not fun for you, it might not be an avenue that you'll enjoy, because you'll spend a lot of time doing that. But I don't know, like monetization is extremely hard, and it's so dependent on who your audience is. It's so dependent on whether or not advertisers are interested in that audience. It's dependent on the size of it. Because like if you've got 1 million people on a list, it doesn't matter. You'll get sponsorship money. It's easy. If you've got 10,000 people on a list, you might, honestly, if you've got 1,000 people on a list, if they're the right people, you can get sponsorship for it. It's just a matter of who, like, which companies value that thing. Do they have budgets? Like, you're probably not going to get a public school to ever sponsor anything because they don't have any money. Like there's just not a viable path forward for that. So if you're doing an app for like public K-12 schools, good luck. Like it's going to have to be donation based. And honestly, those ones are even problems because then they start to compete with the schools that need the donations, right? Like the teachers are trying to raise money for school supplies, and if you're trying to raise money for your thing that supposedly helps teachers, that's like actually kind of competing with the teachers. It's audience matters, right? Audience matters, goal matters, strategy matters, and sometimes the best thing to do is honestly just make something that's good enough that people will pay to use it, and like a good free tier that lets people try a thing to understand that it's valuable, and then let them opt in for more features for more money. That is probably the most proven way for apps because it lets people decide that they want it and then decide that they are going to pay for the extra features, and they have an option not to. Like they can do the thing in the app without the bonus feature or with the watermark or whatever it is that your app does. And like most people will decide, it's worth $5 to do this, and then they'll just kick it in. So, anyways, that's monetization with Jason. A contest for followers to make some promo content. Okay, let me ask this, and y'all can tell me. I feel extremely weird about that because I don't know how to do that in a way that doesn't feel odd. What's your reality? Like if I came out and I said, okay, we're going to do a contest, promote my channel, and I'll give somebody a keyboard, I don't even know what I would give. Would that feel weird? It feels weird to me. Like, and maybe it's just because I'm like asking somebody to promote me, which is very odd. Like, it's like walking up to a stranger and being like, "Hey, can you go introduce me to that person over there?" And it's like why would they do that? And so my relationship with this stuff, I think, is complicated because I'm not sure which part of it is the business and which part of it is like me as a personality, and I'm very uncomfortable with the idea of being like a personal brand. Like I want to make stuff that people want to use, and I like the stuff to have a brand and to have an identity. I don't necessarily want to be a product myself, and I'm a little, I don't know. I don't know how to manage or navigate all of that stuff. Let's see. What's the the job father? Let me get his handle. You should, yeah, very, very good follow. Definitely worth it. Put kittens in my thumbnails. That's good. I like that. Well, thank you, Patrick. I really do appreciate that, and it does mean a lot to me. And again, like, yeah, I'd hang out for the ad read. I appreciate you. Tech podcast hosts in my web dev challenge. So yeah, the web dev Cody was actually on the show when it was still remote, and he built a really cool app. It was like a D&D themed like Forge app, like you could order magical weapons and stuff. That one was super fun, and I think a lot of fun. I've been talking to Wes and Scott Talinsky and a handful of other folks about doing the show. I really want them to do it, and I think we'll be able to make it happen. Schedules are really hard, and like those two in particular are extremely busy. They've got a million things going on, and I've got a million things going on. So getting all three of us to have dates lined up where travel is possible is just, it's tough, right? And like Wes has kids, and so it's tricky to get away for, it ends up being effectively like 2 nights in Portland to do the show, which for somebody who travels a lot is just a big commitment to do. And so, yeah, this is kind of how I feel about it too, Kathy. I feel like it's put like asking people to do things for me. Like if people want to organically share my stuff, and that's my goal, is to make something good enough that people want to share it. And I think where I could do better is providing more clips, or maybe somehow making it easier to get clips. I don't really know how that works. Yeah, thinking through like smoothing the path so that if people wanted to share, they can, I think is important. Specifically, like running a contest to get promoted feels, something about it feels bad. I don't know what it is. It's just, it's not comfortable to think about putting myself in a position of saying like, okay, everybody pay attention to me and I'll give you prizes if you do. Like there's something weird about that. Contest for content creation or exploitative. Yes, that's exactly it. I think it starts to fall into that like spec work vibe. Like all of you create a logo for me and I'll pay for the one I like the best. That doesn't feel community minded. That feels like who will do free labor for me. And I, this is why I said like I'm trying really hard to get the profit margins to the point where I can afford to hire help, because what I want is to pay someone to do this work, because it's really important work and I think it needs to be done. I just don't have bandwidth for it, and I don't currently have the budget to pay somebody to do it. So it's a very like it's a challenge. I can see why people take venture funding, because if I had like $1 million that I could use to operate the business, I could do a lot of things right now. I could hire help to do it and like move ahead with a couple big ideas that I have that I think will work really well. But I don't want to give up, a percentage of the company. I don't want to have to be beholden to a board. I don't want to have to grow at all costs. I don't want to have to double revenue or all those things that have to happen before you start getting yelled at. And I don't want to be like providing shareholder value. I want to be making stuff that I want to watch, that I hope you want to watch. And I want it to be good enough that companies want to get involved and support it. But I never really want to get into a place where somebody who's not thinking about it from that standpoint has any stake in what's happening in the show. What do I use to search things up so quickly? So this is actually this is the like the location thing on Arc. So I'm using Arc browser, and so when I hit Command L, it pulls up what the current URL is, or if I hit Command T, it pulls up like a new tab, and so I can say something like I don't know, like I type in "learn with Jason" and it lets me do that. And then the other nice thing is I can hit Command Shift C. You can see it copied the URL, and I can throw those in. But yeah, I think that's it's a good tool. I like it a lot. I know they got some blowback for I think there was like a vulnerability in their database choice or something, but I still like it. Part of the reason I'm here is because you're so positive and you want to help people learn and improve. Thank you. I'm gonna try this. Yeah, thank you. This stuff makes me want to cry. I think this is maybe the biggest challenge that I have, is because I don't dislike the Fireship content. I don't dislike the sort of like there's a thing that happens on social media where there's like a cool kids club that are kind of actively antagonistic, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like people are allowed to make whatever jokes they want, to have whatever culture they want. The challenge though is I think it's really unapproachable, and it doesn't make people feel like they can go be part of it. It makes you feel like if you try to be part of it, you're going to get made fun of or ridiculed or like turned away. And I remember when I was new to tech having some of those interactions where in retrospect, with the benefit of like having met some of these people later and understanding the sense of humor that they have, they were like lovingly teasing me because I was like a peer. But as a newcomer who still didn't feel like I was really part of the community yet, I felt like I had just been ridiculed in public, right? And it made me afraid to talk to them. It made me afraid to join in. And so it's been important to me to try to create a I think about it like the high school cafeteria, right? Like there was that table where as you were walking by, you'd kind of look and the tables were closed, they were kind of doing their thing, and you felt like if you tried to sit, they'd be like, "What are you doing here?" Right? And then there was the other table where you'd walk by and somebody would they'd look up and they'd look over this, "Hey, you can sit with us." Ugh. It we don't have enough of that uh, in tech. Jesus Christ. I didn't get enough sleep last night, so I'm like extra emotional. Um, but we don't have enough of that in tech where people are kind of actively reaching out, right? And I think that's it's the sort of thing that it makes it hard to stay. Because a lot of people come in, and I see a lot of people come in and they've got so much potential and they're doing such cool stuff and they're brilliant and they're capable, and they just never feel welcome here. And they never feel, I don't know, they always feel like they're an outsider. And I think part of that is because being part of the in group in tech, it requires a lot of you have to know how to do the tech, but then you also have to learn the jargon. And it's not just the tech jargon, it's the business jargon, it's the the slang that we all use, it's the in jokes of like when everybody makes fun of TypeScript. We don't actually mean that we don't like TypeScript. We all use it. We're just making fun of it because like it hurts us sometimes and we want to lash out, right? Or like when we talk about different languages, you got to know which ones you can talk about before you get made fun of, and which ones are cool. And there's all this stuff that you just have to know. And the more layers we add to that of like, oh, this account on Twitter is always joking, right? And they'll be really, really, really mean, but they don't mean it. They're joking. And you just have to know that because there's no indication that they are joking. They're posting what looks to be completely sincere, but we all know, we're all in on the joke. And I think that can be really challenging because if you don't know who the personalities are, and then you go to a conference and everybody's talking about their favorite personalities, their favorite drama, who's, what's going on with WordPress, what's going on with Rails, what's going on with whatever. Those types of conversations make you feel like an outsider. And if there's nobody there to, I don't know, like, I guess, extend a hand and say like, you don't have to care about this stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing, right? So Jay, what part of the Pacific Northwest are you in? Because could definitely use some help, like for sure. Okay. All right. Seattle? Nice. Okay, cool. So close, but probably yeah, I think I didn't realize that I was this kind of person, but I've been thinking that I want to be able to work in the same space for a lot of reasons. Like one is anybody who comes in, especially if they're going to like intern here, how do we balance that relationship, right? And I think the balance would be full access to the studio. You'd be able to use the equipment, you'd be able to make your own videos. So for somebody who wants to like do the similar thing, like be a YouTube creator or whatever, that would be a way I could feel okay about an internship. Is if you're like super excited about doing this stuff, then okay, here's a bunch of reps. You could work on doing clips, shorts, things like that. But also you can make all your own stuff with access to the equipment in the studio. And so kind of getting like if I can't pay a full salary, I can maybe at least pay in like equipment and gear and stuff that would be otherwise prohibitively expensive. Yeah. So, anyways, this is. Didn't think we were gonna get emotional on the show today. All right, give me just a quick second. I'm gonna take just like a couple of minutes here to regather myself, and I will be right back. But like, yeah, give me a 2-minute break, and I'll be right here. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. So, what do you say? You know what? I was going to show y'all the site that I'm working on before I got myself completely sidetracked. So, all right, we have the new site. And then we started talking about the meta conversation, all these kind of things. So thank you all for going down that little rabbit hole with me. That was wonderful. And let's look at the new site. So you can click into one of the seasons or in one of the series, and then inside you can see the episodes themselves, kind of what's been coming out. So this is what's happened this year. And then you have a drop down for like previous stuff. So we can go to like the first season, first year that I made the show, and you can see the original episode. So here's what Learn with Jason looked like in 2018. You can see it was quite literally just a Zoom window that I was recording. So this was you can even see the Zoom Chrome. Like I said, just start. Like you never know where this stuff is going to go, and it all takes time. But so you've got the series. You can kind of click through and see an individual one. Let's actually look again at what happens in these. So here's like you get the full screen video. You have the ability to kind of copy paste the link to it directly. We've got the series, the episode number, air date, all those good pieces. And then this is something I was excited about. I got the user account set up so that you can see more details about who's in the show and what else they've been in across series. So this is the Web Lunch episode that Adam was on, and then he's been on Learn with Jason twice. So they all kind of pull across, and you can see everywhere that I've interacted with this person. And you can edit your own profile. So like once you create a profile, you'll have like a public profile on the Learn with Jason site, and you'll have the option to become a supporter. So I'm gonna do like the 3 tiers of support, where like the $5 is kind of what you would pay on a Twitch or a YouTube or whatever, and you'll get early access to stuff. I'm gonna try to post things at least a few days early, ideally a week early. I'll have to kind of work on the editing schedule of that to make sure that that's feasible for my editing team. It isn't going to kill them, but it should work. And And then you can do $20 a month, and I'm going to do 20% on courses and workshops as like a bonus for doing that. And then I'll have a platinum tier where I'm actually going to open up a 30-minute strategy call every month for folks. So if you want to just do a one-on-one about what you're doing on your career, some project you're working on, if you want to talk tech, you want whatever, like 30 minutes, it's your 30 minutes. You can treat it like a one-on-one with a manager if you want. Like, bring me some problems. You can send me a doc ahead of time, and we'll talk through them. And that's going to be $100 a month. So I think that's the cheapest way, because I charge consulting rates when people want to book calls usually. But I thought this would be a fun way to encourage people to support the show a little bit more, and it gives me a lot. Like, it's a good way for me to put more into the production budget. And so I am going to cap these. I think I'm only going to be able to support like 10 of these out of the gate, because that's 5 hours a week or 5 hours a month of calls. Maybe I can do 20. I'll have to look at my calendar, but I should be able to fit it in. We'll start with 10, and if I feel like that's manageable, I'll open up another 10 slots, assuming 10 people want to get on this tier. But then you have control over your account details, so you can go in here and make edits or whatever, update your profile. You also have access to update your newsletter settings right here. And then you can view your public profile. And so mine actually shows the bio that I wrote, and then I'm on dev mode, so none of these queries are cached. So they're all running like super slow. But then you can see all the things that I'm working on and all that good stuff. That's fun. We've got the blog ported over. The blog I didn't change at all. It's basically the blog as it was. So you can, that I didn't want to like rebuild like the full redesign. I just kind of wanted to be able to get a way for the shows to exist on Learn with Jason that felt more like usable. Because right now the Learn with Jason site is entirely dedicated to this series. And there is no home, like there's nowhere to go for Web Dev Challenge except the playlist on YouTube. Same with Web Lunch or whatever it ultimately ends up being called. This Do It Anyway series is on YouTube. I don't even have it listed because it was like such a big departure from my usual content that I felt confused by it. So having a place to put it like here, where it's clearly it's a thing that we're doing. It's a separate thing. You can watch it here, and then I don't have to worry about like if I unlist it on YouTube. That doesn't mean that I just threw that content away. It means that it's here for people who want to watch it, but it's not necessarily like being actively advertised. But so that's there, and then like this goes to an external site. So if you want to, I'm happy about this. This is the like what I send to companies that want to work with me. It's more like the actual pitch deck of stuff you can do. And then I've got the Algolia search running, so that we can do, a search for, we're just looking at Adam stuff. So there's Adam Argyle, and you can get his episodes there. This is currently only using Learn with Jason data, so I have to update the index to actually pull all the data. So the last thing that's really left for me to do is I don't have any scheduling, and then I have to go through the old site and make sure that things like there's no footer down here, and you can see I've got like the search is hidden down here. So I need a footer that's got like the code of conduct and like a contact link, and I think I need a privacy policy now. I'm not sure. I want to be able to show everybody who's a supporter. I'll probably make it an option, but you can have your headshot show up in like as a supporter on the show. So we'll have like a footer with everybody who's contributing, and then you'll have a checkbox you can hit if you want to be anonymous if that's important to you. But yeah, like I'm so close to this being done. Right now, I know it's got mobile issues, and I'm also like I got it deployed. What was it? Was it this one? Like here, I got this deployed, but then like something's going wrong with the server stuff, where it won't. It's like I'm not sure. I broke something. I need to figure it out. But the server rendering stuff isn't doing what I want. And then, but like we're almost there, So this is not functional but you can try it out if you want. There's like some of the pieces are there, and you can click around in there a little bit. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to try to get this to a place where it's at least functional. Launch it as like beta dot or like v2.learnwithjason.dev, and then put an eyebrow banner on the new site, and put an eyebrow on this one that says like, hey, this site's in beta. We know it has issues. Here's where to report issues. That'll link through the GitHub so that you can like let me know if you spot something broken. And then yeah. Oh, thank you very much for Brindle. I appreciate that a lot. I need to update that pic. I know. So I got that photo done by this fantastic photographer, Amaran Colosi. And I've been like, I love that photo, but it's also 4 years old now. And it also depends on the day, right? Because like I'm gonna go get my beard trimmed, I think either later today or tomorrow, and it'll be shorter again, right? So it always depends on like when you see me in a given month as to how bushy my beard is. Right now, I meant to get it trimmed like 2 weeks ago, and the person who does my beard, she went on her honeymoon, and so I was like, oh, I'll book with somebody else, and then I forgot, and then it was too late, and so anyway, so yeah, I'm like way overdue for a beard trim. It's starting to grow like sideways, which is always a trouble. But yeah, okay. So here's where I'm at right now. I have the site. Let's go right half, and let's pull up the local version. Why isn't this working? Then. See, this is running, and I will start up Sanity. So this will be moving to. Oh, I figured this out. I renamed this so that I could do this easily. So the way that NX works is you define in your packages. Where's my package? Here it is. You can define where everything lives. And so I've got a sites folder, a packages folder, and then I wanted to be able to use Sanity without moving it out of this subfolder. So I just added the new site in there as a subfolder. And that means that inside of the Sanity folder here, if I look at the package.json, it is called LWJ Sanity. And so the way that this works is I run npx nx run, and then whatever the name of the package is, and then the command that I want to run. And so that'll start up my Sanity setup, which then is running on localhost 3333, and I can come in here, and we'll be able to see now like how I've got this set up. So I've got my like individual series. You click into a series, and then you can go into one of the seasons. So like this is the most recent season. You've got details about that. The only thing that I need to talk to the Sanity team about is right now I have to link twice. Like the series links to the collection, and then the collection has to link back to the series. That's kind of a mess. There's a very good reason why they do it. It's just I want it to do a bidirectional link, and that's not currently a thing that's like default supported. But then you have each of the episodes, so you can like click into one of these, and you've got all the details that you need about the slug, the published date, who was in it, and then down here like all the linked resources, and then this I was going to try to like generate a list for every episode, and I think I've walked away from this, and I'm just going to have active supporters on the bottom of the site because I don't know how I would get any historical data for this, and I don't know what I would do about like episodes where I definitely did have supporters but don't have the data and it would be empty. So I think what I'm just going to do is do it like everybody else does it, not overcomplicated. Whoever's active, footer of the site, it's going to be great. Then I have the ability to upload stuff to Mux, and so it's not going to show me the thing here. So this is like the Mux video stuff. and that will allow me to do like secure stuff that you have to be logged in to see, or stuff that is like public that isn't necessarily going to be on YouTube. So like if I do a season 2 of Do It Anyways, I might not even publish it on YouTube. I might only publish it here. I can upload captions. Then if there's a YouTube ID, I can put that there. That'll show the video. I can do a custom thumbnail, but it'll actually just pull the thumbnail from YouTube, which is easier. I can still add an alt text so that it's accessible, so I know what the YouTube thumbnail looks like, so I can update that alt there. And then I have my transcript, so I work with white coat captioning to get transcripts, so I can put that in there. And this is the full transcript for that whole episode, and there's a whole lot of it. So this is kind of how I'm running the site here, and then I've got the people, and each person has a display name and a slug. They can upload a photo, they can update their bio, their links, and then this is what links them to their clerk user ID. And so that is how this connection works, is that I'm logged in using clerk, and then based on my clerk user ID, I can do a sanity lookup for the current details, so that when I come in here and I make an update, what? Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Test, and I update my profile. Apparently I deleted that newsletter. I shouldn't have deleted that. I don't know why I did that. And then out here, this is updated, right? And if I go back into clerk and I look, this is updated. So it's like bi-directional. If I delete it in here and publish and come back out here and refresh, right? So so my goal for this is that this also allows like a guest on the show to, if they want to add a link, if they want to update their bio, if they want to change their profile photo, whatever it is, they're able to do that. And I imagine most people won't care, but sometimes, you know, you get a new job, or you get a really good profile photo, and some of the folks on the show have episodes that are still like very widely shared. So like if Mark Erickson from the Redux team were to get a new headshot and wanted to update, he would be able to log in and do that. He wouldn't have to like ask me to go in and do it. So that's sort of where things are on this show, or on this project. And so my outstanding things that I need to do are, this is actually hooked up live. So if you go to subscribe, it takes you to, this is the production site, gives you like you're using a real credit card, all those things. That is then hooked up to, so I need to get the webhook on a live URL, which is why I was trying to get this thing deployed so that I could test it for real. And then, because right now, if you buy, the subscription will go through, but it won't update this. Because right now, when you subscribe, what should happen is this should disappear, and it'll instead show you what your current subscription level is and give you a button to manage it. But at the moment, because that webhook isn't live, that wouldn't happen. And it would instead, like Stripe would update, you would have an active subscription, but the website wouldn't catch that detail. And so I'd have to then like manually change it or resend it later or something like that. So what I would like to do then is get this fixed. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on with the deployment here, because this is the part that I was confused about. And I think, I'm not sure if I found a bug in Netlify or not. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a brand new Netlify site. So let me take this one down, and then we're going to go into GitHub, and we're going to npm create astro at latest. Oh, hold on, I'm going to look this up. Astro.build, and then we've got the Astro 5 beta, and to try it, There we go. That's the one I was looking for. So we're going to create Astro at latest, and then the ref is next. So that'll give us like the next branch. So we're installing that, and we're going to call this one Astro Netlify deploy, or Astro 5 Netlify deploy test. And we'll include sample files. That's fine. And install dependencies, new Git repository. Good. And once this is done, I'm going to, what's going on with my posture? I'm like sitting like a shrimp. Okay, so let's move into this folder. And they already installed those for me, but why don't I open this? That was the absolute wrong choice. Open. Why is it? What is it? Show me the columns. That's what I really want. So I'm here. There we go. That's what I want to open. And inside of here, let's see. We have. So I want to set the output type to. Oh, that's right, because in Astro 5 you have hybrid mode by default. So yeah, so what I want to do is I want to have a page that's server rendered. So I'm going to create call this one server. We're going to export const pre-render is false to make it server rendered. And then down here, I'm just going to, I don't know, we'll just do like a basic, this is server rendered. And I guess we can put a time in as well. So we'll do like a date. And that will give us proof that it is, in fact, go to locale string. Okay, so what this should look like if I start this thing up is, we got the other one running, so we're on 4322. Okay, so then if I go over to server, every time I refresh, we get a new timestamp, so we can see that it is, in fact, server rendering, right? Okay, so what I want to do then is actually deploy this to Netlify. So I'm going to git, let's just run a git status. Okay, we're going to git add all. Okay, git commit, and we'll say testing deploys on Netlify. Okay, so then I'm going to GitHub repo create. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Opened up Photoshop. Oh no. Let's push the existing repository. We're going to push this one. And we'll put it on my personal account, make it public. Add a remote. Let's push. Okay, so just all the defaults there. And then I will be able to go out and see this, right? So now we've got this repo, and now we're going to move into Netlify mode. So I've got this repo. Let's go to Netlify. I want to create a new site. Go to GitHub. And this one is going to be called Astro 5. I have like 900 repos, so this takes a while. There it is. Site, I'll leave that blank. Leave this blank. This is all fine. Okay, that should all be good. Branch to deploy. Okay. Is it? Did I not push? Hold on. Astro 5 deploy test. Astro 5 deploy test. Can you not? Deploying main. What's going on here, Netlify? Astro 5. Oh, maybe I just went too fast and it hadn't, like, the cache hadn't caught up, because now it's picking up all the details. It knows it's an Astro site. It was showing me that. So that looks fine then. Let's rock this and see if it works. All right, so this is deploying. Big Astro fan. Yeah, the Astro rabbit hole is a good one. That's a fun one to hang out in. Bearded shrimp, oh no. I don't even want to know what that looks like. I also can't copy paste out of that, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so is this oh. Why would you have failed? Oh, it failed because I didn't add Netlify. So we're gonna npx astro add Netlify. That tracks, like that makes sense that it would fail. So we're going to install that adapter. We are going to continue. Good. Now, what I wonder if I need to do, though, is make sure that that's beta. Wonderful question. Do I need to? They told me that I should run npx astro upgrade beta. Let's try this. If I can get over to my code window. Here we go. So we're going to run npx astro upgrade beta. Upgrades to v6 beta. Okay. Now we're going to add all of this. We're going to git commit and say add the Netlify adapter. We're going to push. And this should start deploying again. All right. And hopefully this will work. And so this will be a good news, bad news situation. If this just works, that's great, because it means that there's not a bug. But it'll be terrible because it means that I did something wrong in my Astro site, and I don't want that to be true. Like, I just want problems to be other people's problems. I never want problems to be my problems. Okay, that build was fast. 717 milliseconds. I'll take that. See, now this generated the right thing. Okay, something, I don't know what's going on, but something was definitely not happening in my site, because my site kept saying that there were no, why can't I, what is my caps lock button? This one? That's a layer button. Are you caps lock? No. Shit. How do I find this? Where have I? Oh boy. I just forgot how I mapped my keyboard, and that's wonderful news. Oh, there we go. All right. We're good. Okay. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, so that's unfortunate, because that definitely means that the site itself is fine, or like Astro and Netlify are working, and my code is not. So let's figure out why. So sanity's not the problem. It's going to be down here. We're using Astro Netlify. That's beta 0. Let's just try that, that command again and see if maybe something's out of date. Everything is current. Okay. So what is that? All right. So then let's run npx nx www.v2 build. I need to add the run. Okay, so this is going to build the whole site. I think I've got a few warnings in here, so it's going to make a bunch of mess. Okay, so we start doing the build the server entry points. There's all my pages coming out. Building function. Right, okay, so where does this end up? Hook Astro build done. Generated SSR function. Okay, so where does that SSR function end up? We've got this whole build here. We've got the Netlify. But where does the SSR stuff go? Is it this one? Okay, and if that's what's happening, how do I get it to recognize this in the build? Because I think that's what's going wrong, is that it's looking in the wrong place. So what are the defaults? Site configuration. I don't happen to have anybody from Netlify watching right now, do I? Let's go to build settings. So it's default to the functions directory, right? Because I have two different versions of this site. This is the other one that I was working on. So this version here, also the servers aren't working. And so this is a like a standard site. So I don't know why this one wouldn't work. Let's, I mean, I don't know. Let's try just changing it to be the base directory here. So if I go back to Learn with Jason site, do my continuous deployment. See, and this is where I start getting confused, because like right now I have this command does some like NX stuff. This is where the publish directory is. But that should be empty maybe. Maybe if it's just not set, it will fix it. They don't have a... And then we're building from the V2 branch. Yes. So I want to attempt this deploy again. And because I'm messing with my settings, that's borked everything. So I'll have to figure that out. But let's just try... Let's just retry with the settings changed. What's up, Swasti? How you doing? The fly stuff is interesting because their Docker containers are good, but I've gotten a little bit of like inconsistency with them where they're sort of not doing exactly what I expect them to do, and I suspect that's because I'm just not very familiar with the platform. But yeah, we'll have to... It'll be a fun thing to dig through, I guess. So Oh, you know what I could probably do is change the command in the branch itself and have like the same. Yeah, I could change the way that we call the command so that it matches. But like, I have a large and growing legacy code base in here. Okay, so NX is executing. I'm also wondering, because I have another Astro site in here. I wonder if the peer depths thing is getting weird. That could be an issue. I might need to install. Yeah, this is where monorepos are like, they just sort of add a layer of mystery. Like, I really like them, but see, no functions deployed. So it's not finding that SSR function, and I'm not sure how to get it to locate it is my big challenge. Because it gets there, but then it says 0 new functions, and then on the build, remember on the other one, it said it had generated like the SSR thing. Okay, so let's just for the sake of eliminating variables, let's try stepping outside of. Let's go to sites www v2 as the base, and then we're going to deploy dist. Our command is going to be npm run build. We're gonna, that one's set. And this is the part that I'm unclear on, is like, I don't know exactly where it's gonna try to find those, but maybe if we just force it to here. So let's save that. And then I will push a small change to this folder to try and okay, so that gets us here. Add sites v2, and then that gives us like the README change. Yep, we're happy there. So let's rock that. So git commit, and we'll say work in progress, debugging, deploys. Off we go. I don't have a netlify.toml in here, and I've historically not needed one. I would love to not have to manually configure it, but you know, we'll work through each of these pieces and sort of deal with it. We're currently working on the new version of learnwithjason.dev, Ultrendo. And specifically, I'm trying to figure out how to get it deploying, because I've moved it into the mono repo where I keep all of my Learn with Jason stuff. And I mean, maybe I just need to let the old site. Maybe I move the old site into a. No, I can't do that because I don't want to. I don't know if I necessarily want to get. Do I want to keep the old site available as like a V1 or something? That feels like a pain in the ass. So is it setting the base properly? Feels like it's still doing NX stuff, isn't it? No, it's running npm run build. Okay, all right. So this is gonna be a good test. We'll see if I misconfigured the mono repo, or if something about this particular arrangement of things is causing Netlify to not find my Astro functions, the generated Astro functions. Okay, so I expected those warnings. Or they're not even warnings, they're just hints. Okay, we're doing stuff. There's tons and tons of, and it failed. And it failed because environment variables exceed the 4 kilobyte. Oh no. Crap, that's a problem because that I don't think I can work around that because like the Mux signing keys are large. And I think that alone might be, hold on, let me check how large that particular key is, because if that one is the problem, because I need it, don't really know how I would solve this problem otherwise. So here's, yeah, that alone feels like 4 kilobytes. How do you judge the size of a thing? I guess I can create a new text file. Put that in downloads and then look at the file name. So that key alone is 2 kilobytes, but that shouldn't stop. Okay, so let me throw that key in the garbage, empty trash. What else is going on in here? So are there any things I can get rid of? Stripe publishable key, Stripe secret key. Can I have multiple N files? Not in Netlify, I don't think. I think they... Well, I can set stuff as not being required for serverless functions. And so I'd need to look and see... Let me see if I can get this pulled up in a way that y'all can actually look at. Yeah, because there's stuff going on in here that probably doesn't need to be sent through. Oh, yeah, I'm doing all sorts of weird stuff in here. So, okay. If I open these, does it show the value? So like the Google Cloud API key I'm not using, so I'm going to delete that. And it looks like it's not showing these when I click on them, so I'm going to bring these up, and hopefully I don't have to roll some keys today. Am I using the Hasura URL anymore? I don't think I am. This is the other problem, is like, so I know I'm not using this one, so I can get rid of it. And then I have like doubled up ConvertKit and ConvertKit, right? So that means I feel like I can probably get rid of these Hasura. I think I fully migrated off Hasura, but I don't want to find out the hard way that I'm wrong. Because if I take down production, I'm not ready to launch V2. So I'll have to check those. And then we've got Clerk publishable, sign up URLs, Sanity stuff I need, SendGrid stuff I don't need. That was an experiment. My Shopify stuff is all down, so I can get rid of that. And I'll go re-enable that stuff later if I need it. Stripe stuff I need. I need those price IDs. Don't need this one anymore. YouTube channel ID I don't need. Am I using this Twitch ID in secret? Let's find in files, and we will include sites www. I make this? Now let's just look in. Let's just look in the whole thing. Where am I using Twitch client ID? Nope. Twitch client ID. I'm not using it. Get it out of here. This has got to be. This is like high quality entertainment, right? You're all enjoying this. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Gotta go roll all those keys, don't I? Netlify should warn when all of those things are not being used. Let's see if we can dump this one. And let's see the Stripe webhook, publishable key. All right, let me check which ones I just shared in case they are ones that I need to like immediately and panic. Oh, shit. Yep, it was my Stripe keys. Let me go roll those. Hold, please, while I mean, you know, I trust y'all, but I don't trust y'all with my bank account. So let's kill this one. Roll key. Good. Rolling the key. There's the new one. And that one goes here. All right. I'll have to, that webhook's not live, so I'll have to fix that, but we'll do JV2. Okay, all right. So that one's rolled. The publishable key doesn't need to be rolled because it's publishable. Here is let's see, the clerk stuff, the secret keys, those are test keys. Test keys, I don't care about those. All right, yep, we're gonna, and the Stripe one was the big one. The other stuff I'll roll those later so that it's not super boring to watch me roll keys on stream. Who wants a new keyboard? Yeah. Where are we shopping? Yes. Oh, Rolos, that'd be fun. That's a good name. Boot my whole thing. Just get a new one. This is, I got this from a company called 100% Soft. And I have no idea if they're going to have all of them in here, but there's so many variations here. And it looks like it is, in fact, in stock. So if you want one of these... Oh, what am I doing? I'm not showing you the actual screen. Let me get this over on the screen. But so this is the shop. It's called 100% Soft, and they have all of these so that you are able to... Oh my God, that's not the right thing. Why? Just, no. Get that out of here. this one. This is the one I'm trying to focus on. Quit helping. There we go. So yeah, these are a lot of fun. I enjoy these a lot. The artist does a bunch of stuff with like Marvel and stuff. But anyways, I think I learned about this. This was like the original. And I have you may have seen I have the T-shirt. That was the first thing I got, and then I got an email that this was like a limited edition thing, which apparently has been extended because you can get it now. But anyways, they're cool. They're fun. They're cool. You should get one if you like them. Good little desk toy. So anyways, let's get back to trying to get my site to run. Oh my God. Boy, am I glad that was hidden and not just like floating my freaking Stripe keys yet again. God damn it. What a day. Okay, so let's continue seeing if I can delete keys here and make sure that I am only using what I actually need. There's the muck stuff that I'm going to need. Let's see if I'm using the Hasura stuff. I am not. I'm not using the Hasura stuff anymore. Okay, so I'm fully migrated off of that. We can delete that. What else? I'm using the Cloudinary stuff, using the Clerk stuff. Which form of ConvertKit stuff am I using? CK API key. I'm not using those ones anymore, am I? CK API key, CK form ID. Okay, so I am using that one, and that's in API endpoint subscribe. I need that one, but I'm not using CK API key. No, I am. I am using it. Okay, so don't touch those ones. And the new one is, yeah, that one's being used in, actually, did I break this? API endpoints, so let's get to the new site. I deleted the newsletter thing. So, okay, so I'll have to fix that. That's frustrating that I did that. It's in my Git history. I'll go get it back. But that was the one that was using these. So I need those. Maybe that was enough. Let's try it again and see what happens. A cookie and a juice and a lie down. You're not wrong. Charles, I appreciate the pitch, but the store is down. I can't sell anything right now. The fulfillment company fired me, so I can't do. They only wanted to work with companies that were doing like $50,000 a year in business, and that ain't my merch store. But so eventually, again, if I like when I can afford to hire help, part of it would be doing the like fulfillment on orders and stuff so that I could get those things out. That's all good. Don't worry about it at all. I really do appreciate the help. I want you to work so bad. Just do it. Do the publish. Dazzle? Is Dazzle a fulfillment company? Like this? Zazzle? I think this is... How do they do it? My hunch is, I want to know how it works before you tell me. Unique customizable products. So they don't carry custom inventory. They do print on demand. So, which is great for a lot of setups, but for me specifically, I have the corgi ducks. I have some stickers and things that already exist. So I need somebody who can carry active inventory, like that would take inventory from me. No, why did you fail? Is it too big again? Defined in the schema are invalid. The YouTube channel ID. Oh, okay, that actually makes sense because we're using the Astro config for the .env. So now I need to get rid of these two because I'm not using them anymore. And we will git add sites. That should be the only thing that got added. It is, so we can git commit, say fix, remove unused env vars. And then we'll push that, and that'll kick off a new build for us that will hopefully pass our environment variable stuff. Oh, do you want to see a trick I learned that's pretty cool? So one, if you click on your desktop, but two, if you hit Command-Shift period, it shows and hides hidden folders. So instead of having my screenshots go to my desktop, I have my screenshots go to a folder called .screenshots, which makes it into a hidden folder. And then I put that on my desktop, but then I hide hidden folders, and my desktop stays clean. And I drag that screenshots folder down into my dock so that I have screenshots. Ta-da! What terminal theme? This one? This is, I used VS Code with the Night Owl theme, and then I use Operator Mono as my font. I have all of that written down and linked here, if I can finish typing it. Okay, come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on, come on. Okay, so assuming the environment variables go through, the next thing that we're hoping for, so yeah, assuming I got the validation right, the next thing that we're hoping for is that the total of the environment variables is under the 4 kilobyte AWS Lambda limit. And I think we're going to be close. And hopefully, because the big challenge is that the MUX secret keys are like big. It's 2 kilobytes on its own. So that's half of my space. And damn it, it looks like it's still too big. Let's see. Exceeds the 4 kilobyte limit. Son of a bitch. Okay, so for us to fix that, we need to get... Maybe some of these can get pulled into... Because like I need that to be available to functions, right? And so what doesn't need to be available to functions? Like, where do I use this one, for example? So if I close this and I say find in files, do a search here, and am I not using this anywhere? That can't be right. That's getting picked up by the clerk package. So where does that need to be available then? Does it need to be available in functions? My guess is probably not. So maybe I can update specific scopes. Are you going to be, let me make sure this isn't like showing the key. It's not. Okay. So it's not showing the value, so I can look at this. Let's turn off functions, and that makes it smaller, right? So then we can check some of these other ones as well and see if maybe I can make them all smaller. So this is a whole other thing that we get to do now that's going to be fun. So let's take this one, and we'll change the scopes on this to only be in builds. The same thing here. We'll change the scope to only be in builds. The Sanity API stuff, where is that being? So that's in the index, that's in, this is all functions. So I need that in functions. Stripe stuff I need in functions for sure. These ones I can probably pull out and put in. Those are only necessary in the builds. Maybe this will get us there. I mean, we got to be getting close at this point. Also never realized that I would be like environment variable golfing to get under a limit here. Okay, so let's try this again. Yeah, the current hackathon is WDC hackathon, and that will always be updated to point to the most current one. I actually think did the current one just end? It did. It ended yesterday. So hopefully everybody got your apps in. The next one will start next week. Next Wednesday, there'll be another one. And so I now am, shit. Okay, I'm 2 hackathons behind. So I will email everybody from the previous hackathon, and then I will email everybody from this hackathon, and I will do it soon so that we can get those all sorted out. But yeah, it's all good. The next one's going to be fun. The next theme is around like capturing memories. It's going to be a really good time. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be fun. So, all right. Still building. We're through the check, I hope. Through the check, everything is fine. And we're going to end up getting that same warning that I was expecting. That's all good. What was that get static paths thing? Get static paths. Profile username. Oh yeah, because I had been forcing all this. that should solve that problem, but God, come on. Build script return what? Oh, that's the same thing. Oh, this sucks. Okay. How about this? I am going to just disable. I'm just gonna to turn off that mux key for a minute because it's giant and it's the signing key, right? Let me hide this for one more second so I can verify which the big one is. It is the mux jot private key. Okay, so mux jot private key, I'm just going to turn it off for functions, and that will, if that doesn't get us under the limit, I'm going to be really confused and almost wonder if it's something else. So let me save that variable. So that's 2 kilobytes gone in the build or in the deploy. So let me try this one more time. And then that'll mean that my mux videos won't work, but it'll at least let me solve the immediate problem, which is that I'm currently not able to deploy this site at all because the SSR stuff is failing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Especially with the hackathon stuff, like I've been kind of working up a run book on it. But the hard part has been in this one is just been the absolute chaos of like a lot of new things all happening at once that I wasn't expecting. Like in-person Learn with Jason or in-person Web Dev Challenge and a couple other things like a new show that is being that got greenlit yesterday. So, part of it is yes, I need more help, and part of it is that this is sort of an unprecedented couple of weeks for me in terms of chaos. So I should be able to sort it all out. This week feels a little less off the wall, but yeah, I really do appreciate the offer, and I could probably lean on y'all a little bit. Could I put the big key into a secure file and inject the file from outside the configuration? I probably could, and that's not a bad idea. I should maybe hunt down some solutions on that for sure. Come on, do it, do it, do the thing. One new function to upload. Okay, that's good news because I think that means it worked. So let's open this branch deploy. Boo! Oh, you suck. What is that? Okay, come on. All right, so let's get into the logs. Let's get into the function logs. Let's look at the V2. Here we go. What's wrong? Error message, package subpath. What? No, what? I don't know what that means. Package subpath.n/setup is not defined. What on earth? Like, I have no idea what that means. So close. It felt we were getting there, and then this. I don't even know how to approach this one. Let's see if anybody's run into this before. Let's see if I can get this That didn't show up. Let's... This is all Next.js stuff, which doesn't really make sense. Try deleting my cache. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try deleting the cache and see. That doesn't feel like it's going to be the problem, but let's give it a shot. Actually, you know what? I just fixed that thing. So why don't I git add sites www.v2. That should give us the one file. Yes. Fix remove unused get static paths. Push. So that should cause it to pull the latest bits. And I apparently drank too much water today. So while this is building, I'm going to go use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, how'd it go? Still going. How much you want to bet ChatGPT has literally no idea what this means? Let's try it. Yeah, this... Like, I see how they got these answers, but it doesn't really approach, like, what's wrong. Yeah, like this, that's not gonna do what we want. So let's go back out to the site. And error recoding, decoding, logs functions, not what I meant to do. Go back. We're going to go to this one, v2, and it is the same error. So this to me feels like I don't get imported from the dist SSR function. So let's Astro.js netlify dist SSR function. So let's look in here and see what this is. It's not in that one. Maybe it's in this one. Astro. Where is this Netlify? What? AstroJS Netlify dist. AstroJS Netlify is not there, which would imply that it was in the top level. AstroJS Netlify. Oh, it was there. I just wasn't looking at it. Dist. And then we want SSR function. And so that's attempting to import astro/env/setup, which shouldn't fail because Astro should definitely be installed here. If we can get down to the A's. There's Astro. There is no env in here, though, so that's interesting. Where would this come from? Whoops. That has like no... Okay, so that's a question for probably the Astro team. I'm trying to control click on this path. It doesn't want to do it. That one works. This one doesn't because it doesn't exist. So something's weird. Perhaps. Oh, you know what I wonder? I wonder if it's that the top level npm install. Let's what's the Astro upgrade beta? That one, that's one that I knew and then I forgot and then I learned it again, where you can do the Astro upgrade, or like you can do Command R or Control R, sorry, and then you can start typing something and it'll like let you run back through your history. It's amazing. Okay, so the good news is that says it worked. I'm gonna delete my node modules and try installing them again and see if I'm... Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of this one. Let's come back down here. Let's make sure that we don't have like a version of Astro installed here. These are all fine. Probably shouldn't be at the top level, but that's okay. We'll live. npm install. So that puts node modules here. And let's see if we're getting a version of Astro here. We are. This one doesn't even have a, so that must be a copy of this one up here. So let's come down to Astro. This is, again, where it gets a little tricky with the way that monorepos work because they kind of move stuff around. But so, okay, so we've got exports. Env is the env.dts, but then there's no env setup. What version is this? See, this is it's installing the wrong version of Astro. And I'm gonna guess that is due to the other site still being, oh boy, are we gonna play this game today? Are we gonna play the upgrade the old site game? Oh boy, yeah, let's try it, why not? So let's go to sites. Then we're going to try to run the NPX Astro upgrade beta inside this project. That's going to bump all of these. Let's try it. What is Astro? Astro is the framework that I'm using to build my site. Strange that that didn't work. Let's try it again. The heck do you mean there's no... What? Let's just get rid of the Astro React one and... Something smells wrong. Like, what is that? Is my npm install broken? Like, what is going on here? That doesn't make any sense at all. React. MDX. See, something's weird. Something's weird and I don't know what it is and I don't like it. What happens if I just manually copy these in? Astro RSS is 407. Astro itself goes to beta 3. Directory not empty. Qua? Okay. Let's try... See what happens if I try to install from the top level. That wasn't the top level. And the problem is that you think a directory in node modules is not empty. Well, I have got the fix for you. Bye. Really happy that I have a Git history here because this feels like the sort of thing that if I wasn't back in the day, I would be like creating an entire copy of this folder so that I could do this stuff. And, you know, if it all fails, I have to continue about my day and this isn't urgent. So I just redeploy the old thing. All right, is this version 5? No, it's not. God damn it. Which version is the out-of-date version here? How do I just force this? Like, I need to collapse this folder. That's gonna take forever. So I need you specifically. You're the version that I want. So let's install Astro at this version. That is just a lie. Like, it is a lie that that doesn't exist. And for you to say otherwise hurts me deeply. Okay. Did that fix it? Let's get up here and look again. Yeah, now you listen. Okay. So, okay, so we're gonna git add the package and the package lock. Did I change anything inside of the wwv2? I should also like dump all this stuff that I'm not. These are all little experiments that I did that I ended up not using. Okay, let's just git commit. Okay. Yeah, more or less. Okay, so that's pushing, which should trigger a deploy on here, which should be, theoretically, it should actually build with the Astro V5 package now, which, assuming it all works, will lead to a successfully deployed site. And then I have to figure out if I broke my other site, but we'll find out. Did that just fail? Did that just like skip the whole thing, or what happened? What the hell just happened there? Who canceled that? Get out of my house. I said do it. Did I cancel it? Clear cache. Get out. Jesus. Definitely the runtime that is wrong. Am I creating an individual page in the site for my blog? Yeah, so the way that this is working is, let's see, if I don't click into any of the server generated pages, there's a page, the watch page will take you here so you can see the different series. The blog page will take you to the blog. The blogs are all statically rendered, so they work fine. The newsletter page is statically rendered. This is actually an external site, but then you can see here that like the dashboard and stuff isn't working, and that's because the server rendering pieces are broken. Having a hard time wrapping your head around Astro. Is it a meta framework like Nuxt or Next plus the front-end agnostic thing, or it's something else? It is a meta framework like Nuxt or Next. The high level is that you get a source directory like you would with Nuxt or Next or any of the others, and then you have your pages, and you can create Astro components, which have these fenced blocks here. You define this. Anything in here happens on the server. Anything out here is treated as client side, and it will do a bunch of things by default that are really nice, like having scoped styles, so you can do the single file style components. You can also put like client side script can be put in a script tag just like you would expect, and then these all get scoped, and the things that you would want to happen. And then what Astro will do is by default, it doesn't ship any JavaScript. So it'll compile all of your Astro components, any external frameworks, React, Solid, Svelte, whatever, into their static HTML. And then you have to explicitly opt in to the client interactivity. And as a good illustration of this, this site has one piece of client interactivity, which is this bit here. And the rest of it, I don't need to download any JavaScript for. So by only loading this, we get a little bit of kind of like bonus, just a little bonus performance. We don't, however, always get it to function. And that is happening because why? What doesn't it like this time? Could not resolve dependency. Got to do the legacy peer deps. Cool. Which one of these is failing? Found Astro Beta 2. But what is the issue? Pure Astro 3. What version of the site is running Astro 3? That's not correct. Is this 2024 one that I should probably just delete or move into a different? You know what? I'm just going to move this one into a different project. Because it does not need to be in here. It is definitely not going to be a final stage shipped thing. It was a previous attempt at getting this to work. And then let's see, this partner site, that partner site probably needs to be updated. I bet that's the one. Sites, partners, and then we're going to upgrade. Was that the one? Okay, so that should do it, because now all of them, if I look at these sites, V2 I know is on Astro 5. This one's on Astro 5. Webhooks is not an Astro site. Studio is Sanity. Scenes are... That's like a plain old Vite app. Partners is an Astro site, but we just upgraded it to the latest version. Discord bot and the API are not Astro sites. So theoretically speaking, that should solve those problems. So let's get, git add sites www package JSON sites partners package JSON. What else do we need? Sites partners. Let's update the package lock. Git add package lock. Missing anything else? No. Okay, so let's git commit chore upgrade deps. Then we push. And maybe this is the one. Thanks so much, Jawan. I really appreciate that, and I hope you feel like you're learning. And I hope that me bashing my head against this computer all day is reminding everybody that there's never a point where this stuff feels easy. It is always there's always something new to go wrong, something new to struggle with, and it doesn't matter. You know, here we are. I'm 20 years into this, and definitely still. Why did you get canceled, dude? What is going on with that? Why are they auto canceling my builds? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't want to ship servers. I don't like managing servers, but there is a part of me that's like tempted to just give up and ship this like on a fully like always on node server so that I don't have to deal with this. Unrecognized author? Did that come up in the... Don't I have a dev test prod environment set up? I don't. What I do instead is I use the like branch deploys for Netlify. where I can I'm pushing everything against a V2 branch right now. And bro, I swear to God. Where are you even picking this up from? From the root project. Where, like where? Astro Remark? Okay, so maybe what I can do is let's just do Netlify Force Legacy Peer Depths, because I don't want to deal with this. Site setting, choose environment, CI, NPM flags, Legacy Peer Depths. Okay, nice and easy. I can do that. And now watch this. This is going to put me over the 4 kilobyte limit again. It's going to be fine. That's not how this is going to go. It's going to go so much better than that. Let's go to the deploy settings. Let's go to the environment variables. We are going to add a variable. It's going to have NPM flags. It's going to be in specific scope. It only needs to be in the build. And it is going to have legacy peer depths. So I'm going to, actually, why don't I do it for this? Branch deploys, good. I really just want it on V2. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to add another one. This one was going to be called CI. It's going to live on specific scopes. We only want it on builds. It is going to have a different value for different deploy contexts, and I want to add specifically for the V2 branch. Was it false? CI false, yes. Let's create that variable. Let's go back to the deploys. Let's clear cache and retry. And I want you to know, legacy peer depths, that I dislike you very much. NPM ls. I don't know if I've ever used this one. What's the there's Astro 5 beta. Oh, this is a useful thing that I've never tried before. The webhooks. Can you just drop the, hold on, can you just do like the npm ls Astro and it'll tell you where that comes from? Because that would be sick. No, kind of. Invalid 3.0 from node modules Astro MDX. Astro MDX. So where's the MDX coming from? Right, so the issue is MDX, and I need to upgrade that to the latest version, and that lives in the top level. So let's npm install astro.js MDX at, I guess let's go look at the tags on it. Is there a versions next? And maybe this will solve my problems. What's up, Alex? How you doing? This is also why I love code. Like, I love coding for a lot of reasons, and also sometimes when the computers do stuff It makes me want to cry. Is that going to get better? Let's see. Let's see if it gets better. Isn't Vercel best for prod? Vercel is not for me. If it's for you, I am very happy for you. I have no, like, I don't like it. So, node modules, expressive code, Astro expressive code. Is there a... Yeah, Vercel and Netlify are two flavors of solution for the same problem. I think the ultimately it comes down to taste, and my challenge right now is, or I guess my stance on it is like, I've had enough bad interactions with Vercel leadership that I don't recommend their stuff for anything. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't use it if you like it. Like, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. But I won't use it. Maybe you'll get better if I just install the latest version? I feel like the Astro team wouldn't have shipped a like actively broken dependency like that. So Astro expressive code is fine. Partners is fine. Clerk Astro. Okay. Unpick Astro. Is there... What version do we have? 139, 1310. Let's npm install clerk astro at latest. Let's also install unpick astro at latest. I did see that meme. I actually put DHH into the same category of like problematic leadership as I put Vercel into. So for me, it was kind of pot calling the kettle black. But yeah, let's see. All right, did this? Come on, come on. Closer, but we're still not there. So I think maybe Unpick just doesn't have a new version. You, sir, are... What is this garbage? Don't you do that to me. You know, this though, I think we might... Maybe we can work around this. At least not that, like, gnarly error. Error invalid. Let's just git add package and package JSON. What else? These ones didn't update. These ones didn't update. All right, we're good. So we're gonna git commit and say, what is this? Chore upgrade deps again. And let's see if that fixes anything. And that then maybe is going to solve that. Like the dependency tree management is really, it's really something. And I also, I wonder, like, some of this stuff, like the partner site definitely doesn't need to be part of my monorepo, and I probably shouldn't have. Like, where does this cancel come from? Like, this is the part I'm really confused about. Canceled build due to no content change. Oh, okay. So actually, that's Netlify doing exactly what I want, which is I'm trying to rebuild it with a like no functional changes, and it's just saving me build minutes. So I see where they're coming from. I get why they're doing that, and I wish that was maybe like bigger at the top of the screen to tell me why it did that instead of just saying it was canceled. Don't I build on local? So this is the problem that I'm having right now is that the local builds are fine. And so what I'm trying to do specifically is navigate the weirdness of mono repos and a beta version of Astro and the Netlify like build system, all of which are evolving at their own separate paces. But this should, I think, installing NPM packages, node 20, that's what I would expect. But now it's failing, and is it failing because of a freaking peer dep issue? No, now it's a build issue. That's okay. What? Bro. Well, that was fun. How long was I gone? I think I managed to refresh the page over here, which is really silly. We're still on the right audio. Okay. Maybe 5 minutes. Oh, geez. Okay, good. Well, that's fun. Okay, so that one failed. That was to be expected. This one's building. Yes. Okay, so if that's building, then maybe we'll try one more time and just see if that solved that issue. So we're gonna git add sites www.v2 git commit remove unused ts ignores. Okay, all right. So now I'll bring us back out here. And And this might do the auto cancel thing if it thinks the content hasn't changed. This one was a code change though, so it should trigger the build. Yeah, I'll be curious about this React thing missing, because that was a confusing error. Doesn't seem like it should be happening. Do it, do it. And then I'll probably, how late am I planning on going today? I should probably start wrapping up. Usually I would stop right now. I would love to get this to build. But if this one doesn't work, I might have to call it, because I need to get lunch before my next meeting, or else I'm not going to eat until like 4 p.m. today. Come on. It's building. Do it. Do it. This is further than we've gotten in a while. Come on. Come on. Waiting for the hook to... Okay, so we got through the build. We got through the deploy. We got... Okay, all right. This theoretic... okay. Did it work? Is this... That's not it. Where's my V2 one? Somewhere out here. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Okay, so this one should... We're so close, y'all. Any of them? No. What's the error now? It's a new, like, it's failing in a new way, which means we're getting closer, but it's still failing. Oh, crap. So, okay, so those ones need to be available. Okay, we can fix this. Let's fix it, and then I think this is going to be the last try. If this one doesn't work, I gotta call it. We're going to put this back into the functions, because, right, it's a server rendered page. So yes, it would need to be in the function. So this was just me being silly. So this one needs to come back into functions, and this one needs to come back into functions. And now that we've done that, we're going to clear cache, retry. Show the new tattoo. Okay, yeah. This is, I guess I can make it bigger while we wait for this to build. So this is the newest piece. It's like a space snake that goes around my arm, like that. And then it's got this cool kind of, how do you show the inside of your wrist? Okay, here, there's like little portals that it goes through. There's a good photo of it on the tattoo artist page, so I'll look that up while we're waiting for this to build. This is the artist, and here is the piece. But yeah, Derek's great. I would highly recommend if you need a tattoo. He does good work. He's here in Portland. And, he's into colors, and I'm into colors, and that's nice. But yeah, cool, like lots of cool, crazy work. This is my friend Joel. He got that. Lots of good stuff in here. It's all very like psychedelic. Not that many colors on my website. I know there should be more colors on my website. How we doing here? Are you thinking or frozen? It's frozen. Good now though. Let's rock. Come on, this is the one. I got a good feeling about this one. This one's gonna work. More colors. Come on. Come on. Never been like this glued to a deploy log before. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? What is this? That is not a real thing. Like, and that didn't happen last time. So something is going on. Something's going on with my cache, like something weird. I already merged this PR. We're gonna. I don't know why that on like a cleared cache, why it wouldn't be able to find Vite. Like it's definitely there. So that'll be a problem to solve on another day. But for now, we're fine. I'm not sharing my screen. Right, I forgot. Okay, so we're sharing the screen now, and we are making progress, and we're going to get past this dependency error. Come on, come on. Plugins, that's, yep, we're good. Okay, I think we got past where it failed last time. Yep, we got past where it failed last time. So it's something about a cleared cache. It, like on the first run, it can't find that Vite folder, which is, that's a weird one. Got to go through and clean all these up and fix the pieces that, like I'm trying to use headers. I think it might be because of middleware, and I need to like clear the middleware. Okay. Is it a new error? Oh, son of a... Where is that being evaluated? Okay, so I can... Dude. So that's being evaluated in the individual series pages. Let's see, it would be in the components probably. And the Mux video player, we get the private key. So figure out how to get this big ass key without exceeding lambda limits. But in the meantime, this will like run, it just won't give us signed assets, which should be okay. Let's see where we're... Sign playback ID. So we won't have any sign playback. So this branch would fail, but we're not going to hit it right now because I don't have any stuff set up to be signed. So we're going to git add sites www.v2. I know I said that last one was the last one, but I feel like this is going to work. So we're going to fix or temp disable sign mux playback. And we're going to get push. Maybe that's something that the Mux team can work with me on too. Like maybe there's a way to get a shorter key because it's very large. Like 2 kilobytes for an environment variable is a lot. Okay, this one for real is the last one. If this fails for any reason, I got to be done for the day. While we're waiting for that to build, I've got a good show coming up on Thursday. We're going to learn how to do native apps with Tori. And like Tori's a Rust-based cross-platform app thing. So we can build like native apps and do native API stuff. But like, I don't really know Rust. I've done a little bit with it, but what Attila told me is that you can actually write JavaScript, like TypeScript, to build Tori apps, and it just compiles through the Rust runtime. So I'm excited to learn about this. That one's going to be really fun. Next week, we have Matt Pocock coming on to teach us about TypeScript generics. Really, really excited about that. And then the week after that, Bree is going to come teach me about design systems in React using Tailwind. And y'all know I'm not like a Tailwind user. So this will be fun because I don't know anything about it. The little bit I've used hasn't stuck. So learning a little bit more is going to be fun. And maybe Bree will be the one to convince me. Who knows? But so that's going to be a great time. These are all going to be really fun. So make sure you mark your calendars. I'll drop a link in here so that you can see them. And make sure you go sign up. You can get in the Discord, get on the newsletter list. You can add the calendar to your Google Calendar, or to any calendar, actually. It opens up a thingy, so you can do that. And that doesn't like mark your calendar as busy or anything. It just makes it visible so you can see when I am going to be live. You can get on the YouTube. You can get on the Twitch. You know what? You can do whatever you want. You're an adult. Let's see. This says that it built, and this would be the Learn with Jason page. So if we did this right, we get... Is that broken? Still broken? Still broken. All right. What's the error? Still missing. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna ship this one and then I'm gonna shut down for the day. That should have worked. I just didn't. Nope, we're not doing that. Sites www2, and that will. This piece here that was actually, we were importing it and not using it, but the import is what was causing it to break, not the usage. So we're going to git commit, actually remove, let's see. Mux signed playback. Okay. And so I'm going to let that build. If you want to check this in a few minutes here, you can try this URL. This is where I'll be building. And here in about 2 to maybe 3 minutes, you will be able to check and see if that build worked. But in the meantime, I'm going to go get some lunch. So thank you all so much for hanging out. It has been great, as always. I really appreciate y'all spending some time with me. And